Apparently there's some copperheads under here. Sure enough. Very nice. 2 of them. Good morning, everybody. We moved on to the next leg of the trip, and we are in Missouri today. This is kind of like our first real sampling of true prairie and Midwestern habitat this trip. And the next couple of days, we're going to be in stuff that's more like this and less like everything else we've been in. So definitely a big change of scenery, big change in species diversity. We're going to get into a lot of prairie species now as opposed to more eastern forest species. So it's definitely going to be different from the last couple days. Should be very snaky though, and I'm excited. So let's get to it. I'm finally starting to feel better too. I probably still sound terrible, but I'm on the upswing, I think, finally.
Hey!
2! What?
Yes! Kind of give it a little...
He's going back.
Oh, here he comes.
That's sick.
Yes!
Double gastered up to start the day. Oh, 2 more! What?
Yes!
Dude! Oh, they're so slimy. What is happening out here?
Yes!
Kyle, it's your moment. It's your moment, Kyle. They're all beautiful, too. They're all fantastic looking. That's so goofy. It's like holding salamanders right now,
They're
dude.
so wet.
I'm so happy.
Well, that's kind of a ridiculous way to start the day. Chad hooked us up with a really good flip spot that just 2 boards and 4 prairie kings. I mean, welcome to Missouri. It doesn't really get much better than that, but we got all day to try, so we'll photograph these guys and put them back. Very, very cool. Some sharp looking snakes too. They're not crusty or anything for how early in the season it is. All right, so we're gonna let the more in-shed pair of prairie king snakes here go and maybe photograph these 2 prettier ones, but just wow. What a start.
Yeah, I've been craving Caligaster.
He's been talking about it everywhere we've been, and then finally we get into some here in Missouri.
Here?
So these are some pretty big, beefy, good-looking prairie king snakes. These are effectively the Midwest's answer to the mole king snake. Very, very cool. That is a great looking prairie king. Kind of caramel colored. A little bit of pattern, but not super in your face like a milk snake. Definitely a more subtly beautiful Lampropeltis, but still one of my favorites. And Kyle's got the flash train going, but we're just admiring these beauties for a little bit, taking some pictures. And then we'll move on to what's probably going to be milk, snakier, and more speckled kingy habitat for the rest of the day. But it would be awesome to see a couple more of these guys too. It has been a very Caligaster low trip up to this point. Today we have a really good chance of getting the Lampropeltis slam though, which is very cool. We could get all 3 of the Lampropeltis. Is that all of them in Missouri, in the whole state?
Yeah.
We could get all of them. We could get all of the Midwest Lampropeltis within the hour potentially. Oh, hello.
Hey, there's a guy.
What's up, my guy?
That will do. It's a big guy.
Well,
Hey, big guy. Finally.
that's something. We have not flipped much of anything today. I think, what have we...
We've flipped 3 things and we've got, well,
5
4
snakes.
If you count the screwed up piece of tin, we have flipped 3 pieces of tin, or 4 pieces of tin for 5 snakes. And they've all been quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
good
nuts.
numbers.
All right, our rattlesnake friend is a little unhappy, so we'll leave him undisturbed. Actually, while I was grabbing my camera, Kyle caught a racer, so we'll look at that and then move on. So just by range and like taxonomy, this is technically an eastern yellow-bellied racer, but it's also just a black racer, so we'll let him go. Maybe we'll see some today that have a little bit more yellow belly going on, but that is just a straight-up Georgia black racer in Missouri.
I've never found one on this little side quest area.
Here's a copperhead right by my fingers once again.
Nice.
Love that. Luckily, they're good boys right now. Well, there is our first Osage copperhead of the trip here in Missouri. Very nice, good looking snake. Kind of just chilling right where the fingers would slip under the rock. You'll love to see it. Definitely going to be a watch your fingers type day today with how warm it's going to be and how many vipers are in this habitat. a mouse. Hello, little mans. You're adorable. And a ringneck. Look at that. Little twofer. You love to see it. All right, Kyle just flipped a baby racer. This guy looks quite a bit different than what we see in Georgia, unlike the adult we found earlier, which was identical to what we see in Georgia. So definitely a little bit of variability in the racers out here, but the babies are really pretty and different than what we're used to. It's a great looking snake.
Here's our boy.
Oh, yeah.
I got full frontal of that, dude.
Yeah, very nice.
That's a great snake, too.
Do you need institute?
You got him.
I do got him.
That's a big, pretty milk snake. That is a huge milk snake, dude. What? He's so girthy.
Girthy McGirtherson. Goodness.
What a beefcake.
Beefcake.
He's a nice looking snake. I like that a lot.
A little dirty, but he's good. And clean.
Yeah. I like a gray milk. A little alterna. A little geezed up alterna looking milk.
He's a great animal. More brown plums.
All right, guys. Well, Chad has flipped our first Missouri milk snake pretty quickly into the day. We had to flip a lot of really good looking rocks to get this guy, but I think that means that we're kind of in the pocket to get our Lampropeltis Grand Slam, the milk, the Prairie King, and the Speckle King. We just got to find what's probably the easiest of the three from my experience. So we'll get some photos of this beauty, let him go, and continue on. These are definitely prairie ringnecks out here. They look a lot different. You see that orange tail tip? We're going to be getting into a lot of these in Missouri and Kansas. Look at that. It's beautiful. Racers, 2 of them. 2 weirdly tiny, the same size racers.
This is...
Oh, I got squirted. That was cool. Oh my goodness, violence. No need for violence, guys. These guys have a little yellow on their faces. Ow. They do both have way more yellow, not a lot, but more yellow than the ones we've seen so far on their chin. So along with all the venomous snakes, this is another hazard of Missouri rock flipping. But yeah, the scorpions here hurt a lot more than the ones back home and the one I got stung by in Tennessee. So we're gonna try our best to not get popped by one of these guys. This is what happened when Graham got popped by one of these guys. Oh. Ow! What? Scorpion? You sure? You sure it wasn't a scorpion?
Huh?
You sure it wasn't a scorpion?
It was something.
I never saw a wasp, dude.
Man, that hurt. Ooh.
Yeah, it was a scorpion, my guy.
You know stay?
Yeah, they're not deadly, they just hurt.
Oh, my hand hurts.
Graham just got popped. How you feel?
I feel like my hand is swollen.
Where'd you get got?
Here, and these fingers are numb.
Holy. Oh man, we got the hoary cocoon going. Look at that.
That coon hoary has a mug.
Here is a little prairie lizard. These are the ubiquitous Scaloporus in this area. This is a juvenile, so he's kind of small. So this is a flat-headed snake, Tantilla gracilis. And they're one of the more unremarkable Tantilla in terms of pattern, but they do have a really pretty red belly, like a lot of the western Tantilla do.
Neat.
Kyle completed the slam, guys. We got all the lamps. Double king rock. That's going to be a cool flip clip that you'll have to watch on Kyle's channel, not mine. That is such a cool pair of snakes, though. Gorgeous. Good flip, Kyle. This is probably going to be one of the nicer speckled kings we see on this trip. I'd like to be wrong about that, but that is a great looking snake. And then, so that's the female. Kyle flipped this pair. The funny thing about the male is he doesn't have much of his manhood left, if any. So it's kind of surprising that they're paired up like that, but maybe he's got more in there than I'm guessing based on the length of his tail. Another racer of the same size. This is probably the most yellow one yet, though. Hey, he's not even really yellow, he's just blue. That's a really pretty racer. Still not really yellow bellied, but he's got some nice blues on him and a little bit of yellow on the chin. Here's your rock, dude. Nope, don't zoom off in a random direction. Go back to your house. Go on. Man, you are struggling right now, dude, aren't you? There's a tick crawling up my leg again. He figured it out. Here's our next timber rattlesnake of the day. Chilling outside of a big rock. Caked in the sun. Very nice. Apparently there's some copperheads under here. Sure enough. Very nice. 2 of them. That's a very pretty one on the left there. They're both decent, but that left snake is very clean. There's another copperhead. Look at that. That is the 3rd copperhead at this spot. Been a very viper heavy day. Lots of copperheads and a couple timbers. All right, everyone, we're wrapping up a very good but kind of milk snake light day here in Missouri. Lots of good stuff happening though. And the one milk we did get was really, really nice. I was a big fan of how that snake looked. We're gonna go get some Szechuan food and probably drive to Kansas tomorrow. So it'll be the first time I've been in Kansas since 2020. And I'm very excited about that, so. He is pretty. Wow. Hello, Mr. Three-Toed Box Turtle.
Oh no, I'm over here. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's a big box turtle.
Yeah.
All right, guys, well, that's a good way to start our second day in Missouri. The original plan was to go to Kansas today, but we're gonna spend the morning here and then go to Kansas. So, first herp of the day here in Missouri, a nice 3-toed box turtle. The first box turtle of the trip, in the road after some rain. But we're just pulling up to this spot, looks pretty promising, so we'll get this guy out of the road and get to flipping. Man, Missouri is just a beautiful state. This place we're herping today is awesome already, and we haven't even found anything. It just looks amazing. What you got?
The boy.
Who's the boy? Hell yeah! I got a coal skink.
Hell yeah.
Kyle got a milk. I got a coal skink. Couple of solid herps.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever seen a coal skink before.
That is a classic Missouri milk. Just a strong 5. She's grabbing. I gotta make sure she goes back under her rock.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, she did. Let me just get a quick pic and then you can...
I'm gonna photograph both of these, I think. All right, here's our coal skink. That is a very, very rare lizard in Georgia, one of the rarest lizards in the state. But out here, they're fairly abundant on these glades in Missouri. I see them almost every time I'm out here. And then, of course, Kyle with the first milk of the day. First snake of the day, milk snake. He's a happy guy.
I am a very happy guy.
All right, everyone. Well done, Kyle, with our first snake of the day, a nice red milk snake here in Missouri. We've started to move west a little bit, so we're definitely in some different habitat than we were at the beginning of our time in Missouri. So it kind of feels like we're in a different place, even though it's the same state. But a very, very nice looking, vibrant orange milk snake in the morning sun. Some beautiful habitat. So we'll get some quick pics, let this guy go, and hopefully find a few more of these today. We had a little bit of a difficult time getting into milks yesterday, even though it was a really good day. And hopefully we will not have that problem today. It's just like a beefy rock, but can't tell if it's gonna break. Yeah. Oh, a baby king. Look at that.
Yeah, dude.
He's next to a scorpion. Be careful.
Next to the scorpion. That's awesome.
Very nice.
Okay, dude, he's so tiny.
Hello, buddy.
Man, we got 2 out of the 3. Let's get that gaster.
There's our finger bait. The thing you want and the thing you don't. All right, take the king snake so I can get this thing off my hand.
Oh, Tantilla.
Tantilla.
The Thrilla. Alright, immediately after that king, we got this dude. Do you need video?
Oh, I'll just get a little clip since I'm standing here.
Yeah.
There you go. Kyle flipped a Tantilla under the neighboring rock. Snakes 2 and 3 for the
They're about
day.
the same size.
We might have an incident if you hold them too close together. Maybe right here. There he goes. Seems like they don't want to. A ringneck party. Literally, like every ringneck in the entire place is here.
All the boys we've been looking
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. I need all of you to get out of there. We literally have not.
Ringnecks look a lot better too.
We have not seen a ringneck all day. And then this one little flip has, I don't even know how many this is.
One of the guys.
Every ringneck.
These have a lot more color than the ones that we were flipping yesterday.
Yeah.
They've got that red tail too.
A lot of the ones yesterday had the red tail too, but these are prettier, I think.
Yeah. That's nice.
More,
Guys.
more red-tailed. Prairie, true prairie ringnecks, I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, ringneck bomb. I'll let you guys go back down this crack. They went every direction, but hopefully most of them went back to where they belong.